What's up, YouTube? Holy crap, that was an endeavor. Oh, so this is my first stream on YouTube, and it is immensely different from Twitch. It is not user-friendly from a streamer point of view. Wow. Most streaming services make it pretty easy. I use XSplit, and they make it pretty easy. You just can sign into your account, and you say you want to go live on XSplit, and it sends a signal, and you're live and ready to go. With YouTube, you can do that, but if you schedule a stream and you go live, it will make a separate live stream, not the one that you scheduled. And so I did that. I was live for a little bit thinking what's going on, and I ended up having to delete it. And then I tried to start the scheduled one, and I was first off, you have to set it up manually with the stream key and URL, which is a pain. But I did that. I'm streaming. I'm wondering why I'm seeing my stream in my monitor, but it's not live on my YouTube account. And apparently, you have to actually click a button on YouTube's end, on YouTube, to say go live, even though you're streaming a signal to YouTube. It is awful. Compared to Twitch, it's really bad. I thought it was going to be easier and streamlined, but no, it's really bad. And unfortunately, everyone that was waiting for me to start at 6:30 left, because I didn't start because I didn't know you had to click a go live button on YouTube instead of just sending a signal. But I guess we're good now. We're streaming at least. So, what's up, YouTube? What a great first impression. Anyway, if you're new here, if you're watching on YouTube for the first time, you're not a Twitch head, and you're checking out the stream for the first time, this is my painting. It's an oil painting. It's oil on masonite panel. Masonite is essentially a particle board. So it's really heavy. I wish there was a lighter version of it that I could use. It's not unbearable, but it's pretty heavy. And this painting is a combination of two basic general methods called indirect painting and direct painting. And so indirect painting involves painting essentially like black and white and then glazing color on top, so you can separate working with value from working with color. And then afterwards you end up painting back into it because you lose some of your contrast. But that's what's happening here in the flesh. And the gold jewelry, the flesh over here as well. And pretty much everything else is direct painting. And direct painting is mixing the color that you want, putting it down on the panel opaquely, if that's a word. Whereas glazes, when you're glazing color and indirect, they're very transparent, they're very thin, and they only kind of add a little bit of color to what you started with your underpainting. So that's essentially black and white, but not really. It's more brown and white, but that's the idea. And I am probably about 85 to 90% done with this. It's been, I want to say, 110-ish hours working on this. And this is where we're at. The chair is basically done at this point. Background's done. There are some minor things I need to do with the rest of the background, but they're super minor. I can fix those in essentially one sitting. Right now, I am glazing the flesh. There's one glaze on this. It actually starts off with this method very orange, and I'm slowly desaturating that orange over time. And so today I'm going to do the second glaze. And so the first glaze was very blue-green to counteract or desaturate what's called the imprimatura, which is almost invisible at this point, but it is essentially an orange transparent layer of paint that goes on before anything else. So it's kind of crazy that that's not really visible anymore. If you're curious what the imprimatura looks like, you can either go to really any of my YouTube videos and you'll see at least some imprimatura somewhere, most likely in the legs, or if you're on Instagram, you can take a look there. That has probably some older stuff where it was just an imprimatura. But the idea with this glazing is you start with a pure white primed background, the imprimatura, which is a transparent orange layer, and then you paint on top of it. You do your underpainting in a brown and white. You never mix the two. You just work your shadows in with your burnt umber and your highlights in with white, and your middle values stay the orange of the imprimatura. And then you glaze transparent over top, so you never have an opaque layer of paint in an indirect painting after the original primer. The primer is the only opaque thing in an indirect painting, and everything else layers, and you're looking through those transparent layers, light's reflecting off of the primer back into your eye, and it's kind of like a stained glass window or something. There's actual physical depth to it, and it's something that you can't recreate in a photograph or on screen. So for you, the flesh might look like it's orange in some places, maybe like a neutral in other places. But if you're looking at it in person, you can very clearly tell that there's an orange layer and then a greenish blue layer over top of it. So that's where I'm at. Just a little introduction. I have a few different scenes that I use. This is the main one where I randomly talk and drink tea, and I typically start. We have some details here. That's what this camera here is. That's completely blocking the entire figure in the painting. But that lets me show a little bit better what I'm doing. You know, if I get in here with a brush, you can really see what I'm doing. And there are a few alternatives. We have this one that shows my reference, and we also have just an empty one, just the detail camera. Then we have my palette, which you probably saw if you're here while I was on my starting soon scene. And you may be wondering who those people are, and those people are my Twitch followers. And interestingly enough, I do not have notifications set up for YouTube, so if anything happens, it's not gonna show on stream, because to be honest, I don't know if there even are notifications like a new subscriber or donation, that kind of thing. I don't know if that exists on YouTube, but I guess in theory, if someone were to follow me on Twitch right now, it would probably still show, and that would probably be really confusing and weird. But anyway, that's who those people are. I also have a version with a color wheel in case I'm explaining something or I need it myself, although it's not too often that happens. And then full reference, which is pretty blurry. There aren't many pixels in this. This is essentially what I see on my iPad, which is right there. So I guess that is everything. Kel asks, where's Pepper? Pepper is my cat, and she likes to cause trouble. And I give her about I say 5 minutes of fame, but it's more like 1 minute. And she claws the crap out of me, and hopefully that stops her from destroying things. She'll claw. I have in my studio up against the wall, I have a lot of drawings, a couple paintings, and if she wants attention, she will literally claw those things, and it drives me crazy because obviously I don't want my drawings clawed by Pepper. Cal says she's napping with her. Good. That means she's out of my hair. So, I guess I can't say as always because this is the first time on YouTube, but if you have any questions, comments, criticism, anything, feel free to put it in chat and I'll read it. So I guess I should probably shut up and we'll start glazing. Oh. Somehow while I'm talking, my tea turns and then I go to drink out of it and it doesn't work. So I'm going to be completely honest with everybody right now. While I was struggling to make YouTube work, when I thought it was working, but it just wasn't, I was watching people come in. The viewer count went up and up, and then the longer it went down and down. And any new people that I would have actually had in chat left. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little frustrated with YouTube about that. But I guess the lessons learned, it won't happen again. I have to actually go into YouTube and click a go live button, even though I'm sending a signal and it's going to YouTube and I can see it happening. I still have to say, okay, YouTube. So, will this happen again? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stream on YouTube. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to be here till sometime between 8 and 9. And it kind of all depends on how things go. Sometimes I'll get stuck in something, I'm really into it, and I'll stay a little bit later, but I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm already 20 minutes into the stream since I was like 10 minutes late. So, moral of the story is YouTube's a pain in the ass. So, my palette. Typically, I will have paints lined up here. I use the warm and a cool variation of every primary color. So, warm to cool yellow, warm to cool red, warm to cool blue. And then also a white and at least one neutral, in this case, burnt umber. But I have not been laying them out because I haven't been doing any direct painting recently. I've been glazing or I've been focusing on one little thing. And there's just no point in having all my colors out if I'm not going to use them. So I'm going to start mixing my skin glaze here. And I'm going to go with a mixture of essentially red and green. So I'm going to start with my warm red here, which is kind of orange. I have to use quite a bit because this needs to cover a pretty large area, and I've been running out. I've been like just barely making it the past few sessions that I've been glazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this kind of a more traditional red by mixing a cool red into it, and we're going to end up with a nice middle red, slightly on the warm side. This might be a little too warm still. I think we'll add a little bit more. Okay. And now we're going to mix a green into this. And what I'm doing essentially is mixing complementary colors and making a neutral. And this is a pretty standard way to mix a flesh color. If you are, so I'm thinking of which blue I want to use. I think I'm going to use cerulean here, but mixing red and green is a pretty standard way of mixing flesh tones, because you have control over making it slightly more red or slightly more green depending on the skin tone. And obviously you need a lot of weight along with it, but if you don't use like a pre-mixed flesh tone as a base, this is probably how you're. Now I'm not going to work in any white into this mixture because with glazing, you never want to glaze with like value. You never want to augment the value of the hue that you're putting down. You're only working with hue, and so white's out of the question. You also don't want to darken your color either. So, back to my palette. I'm going to get this green going. Yellow is usually a pretty strong color. I'm not going to use too much. I want to get a pretty standard green here. Be a little yellow, but that's okay. Actually, maybe it's not. I'm going to add a bit more cerulean blue. It would be okay to lean towards yellow if the red we were using was on the cool side, more towards purple, because then it would be a true opposite. But this is a warm red, so we want to lean more towards blue if possible. Now this is pretty much right. Oh god, man, I am just a mess today. I've been having some serious problems with my backdrop. So much so that it has fallen. My last two streams, it just fell now. Fell. Oh, this is literally killing me. It's like it just doesn't. Oh my god, I'm due. For whatever reason, tape's not sticking. And there's a little clampy thing on top here that holds the painting in place. That's what just fell. So I'm gonna get that back up here. Hopefully not get paint all over myself. And you know what's weird is stream on Twitch 2 times a week for a really long time with essentially no issues. Then I just think about streaming on YouTube and everything just goes to hell. Okay, I think this is sorted out. It's not quite like I would like it, but I think it's going to stay up. All right, so back to this glaze. So now we need to mix these. So I'm not going to take all of it because I do want to have control over the mixture. So we're going to pull out that much of the red. Then we're going to take, I don't know, however much red or green we need. And we're going to make this as neutral as possible. Now, by the look of it, we're going to need a lot more green than what we mixed. So I'm just going to put all of it in there. You can see it's still very, very red, so we did not estimate that very well. But that's all right. Put out some more cerulean blue. We already have some yellow left, so we definitely don't have to worry about running out of the glaze color at this point. There's going to be a giant pile of this. And also this gives us a chance to add a bit more of a blue-green to this. So this isn't entirely bad. So let's add all of that to it. Okay. It is desaturating, but it's still far from what we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this even more. I'm going to add that over there. And we're going to add green to that smaller pile there. Really blasting through my cerulean blue here. Some yellow. Okay, we'll mix these in. Now hopefully this makes it lean towards green. Which it has not. But it's pretty neutral at this point. So actually, this might be the mixture right here. I'm going to make a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit more of this green. I want it to start leaning towards green before I stop mixing, and then I can always mix some more of this, or even that if I needed to, into it to get exactly where I want. Because I do want this to be a very, very neutral glaze. And the reason is I'm going to do 3 glazes in total, and the bottom one's going to be very cool. The middle one that I'm working on now is going to be very neutral, and then the top one is going to be warm. And the top one's going to be very selective, so it's not going to cover the entire area. And that's going to give me some nice warm and cool areas in the flesh, which is pretty natural looking. So we have this color here that seems to be pretty neutral, but I'm gonna test this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of it, and I'm gonna put it over here, and then I'm going to add a bunch of white to it. And once I do this, it'll be very, oh, why did I put that much white on? I got carried away after putting so much cerulean blue up. So this will make it very clear if it's leaning towards red or green. But it looks like it is pretty neutral. That's a pretty strong flesh tone right there. So that is what we're going to use. Cool. So I'm going to open up my, wow, I'm almost out of medium too. I'm definitely going to need to get some ultramarine blue and some medium very, very soon. All right. So I do want to thin this so that it's kind of milky, but I don't want it to be super thin with medium. I want it to be physically thin. So I'm going to put this down and then lift most of it on the fifth meter. So let's get to it. Let's see how this affects what we've got. So I'm going to do a tiny little test. Put that down. Then I'm going to get my rag here. And this is to wipe my hand on when paint on it so that I can keep this extremely, extremely clean and not go outside of where I want it. Gives me a bit more control. Look at that. So just like that, she no longer looks like a zombie. And we're starting to get a pretty natural flesh tone. What's up, DeMonte? I wasn't sure if my Twitch viewers would make their way to YouTube. I had a wildly frustrating and not good start on YouTube. It's kind of annoying the way it works. I don't know if you've streamed on YouTube, DeMonte, but just sending the signal from XSplit, OBS, whatever you use, is not enough to start your stream. Apparently, you have to click a button in YouTube that says go, start. So I went like 10 minutes thinking I was streaming, and I wasn't. DeMonte says, can't stop the signal. Yeah, it's weird. Like, you would think if you're sending the signal, they would just say, oh, he's streaming, let's start it. I guess it's kind of cool if it's like your first stream and you're trying to get things set up and you can like prepare. But for me, it was just like one extra step and one layer of complexity because not only that, but in XSplit, you can put in your YouTube credentials and it'll just start your stream from YouTube, right? But if you like schedule your stream and make it like a little thumbnail that, you know, says what time you're starting, like on this day or whatever, you can't do that because if you start a stream from XSplit using your login credentials, it creates an entirely new stream, not the one that you scheduled. And I did that first, and I was like, oh crap, I had to delete it. And then I had to start essentially a nameless broadcast and type in like the custom stream key and URL. And I got that working, and then it was 10 minutes of me going, what's going on? Why is this not working? Somebody says I use OBS. Maybe YouTube should have its own streaming software. It wouldn't hurt. I mean, it's not that, now that I know that's never going to happen again, but they don't make it easy. Like, I have to make a custom broadcast every time. I can't just say, this is YouTube, and just start and end like I would with Twitch, which is super easy. I literally press this one button right here and I'm live. With YouTube, you can do that with YouTube, but you just can't schedule your streams and show a little thumbnail on people's feeds. So that's kind of one of the good things about YouTube, I think, is you can actively like promote one specific stream session before it happens. So I'm probably just being like whiny and grumpy because I didn't do it right. It's not going to happen again. So far, not a whole lot is different. I feel like the people who watch my stream are watching my stream no matter where it is. So I don't know if YouTube is gonna continue, but we'll give it a few sessions. But this is looking awesome. So now you can see it's looking like flesh. It doesn't look like a layer of green on top of orange. She's not looking like a zombie. Demonte says, yes, I think I did that once with the schedule. It's a bit messy, I think. Yeah, so wait, Demonte, do you stream on YouTube? Do you multi-stream by any chance? All right, I'm going to start landing this whole thing. Actually, before I do that, we need to update my notes. So if you look, we have Glaze 1 there. I'm going to put down a little bit of this for Glaze 2. And we'll put a note here that is red, warm and cool, and green, cerulean and cool yellow. All right, cool. So now we've got Glaze 2 in the notes, just in case. I mean, obviously I'm not going to finish this session, so that'll help me get that color later on. So let's do it. I don't know what the hell. I'm just gonna put this back on. We'll redo it, just so I don't have to work around it. So with this layer, I'm going to lose pretty much all of my contrast. But that's all right. To work the contrast back in after the third glaze cures, which is because they're so thin, they don't really take a very long time to cure. Demonte says, I tried it a couple of times, but then decided to multi-stream to Facebook and Twitch, but I had to pay a third party to be able to do that. I think Streamlabs OBS lets you do it. I forget. So, are you, Demonte, are you an affiliate with Twitch? Because I think, like, in theory, you're not supposed to be multi-streaming, but I've heard that a lot of people do it anyway and there's no like issues. It sounds like you're one of them, because that's kind of what I wanted to do. I want to stream to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, like pretty much everything. But I was worried about Twitch being all affiliate, you can't multi-stream. Of course we do, lol. Then I might just do it, because I was kind of concerned about Twitch being like, oh, well, you broke contract, so goodbye, Twitch channel. Which, it's not a huge deal. I mean, I could probably just make another one, but I feel like there's some equity in my Twitch channel that I don't necessarily want to lose. But I guess knowing that others are doing it without any issue makes me want to just do it. Oh my God. There is a section of flesh I don't think I glazed with my first glaze. That is a pain in the... So that means I have to mix my first glaze color. I think YouTube is better for publicity than Twitch. Twitch primarily is a gaming platform. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to try it out. I thought, just maybe it'll be more discoverable. I've heard so much about YouTube, you know, being a requirement if you want to have a Twitch channel. And that's why I was putting so much time and energy into editing videos, putting one out every single week, staying like regular. But so far, YouTube doesn't appear to be much more discoverable than Twitch, in my experience. So, I don't know what's going on. But I have this section here, which you can see there. Now, I did not glaze that with the first glaze. Now, I could just put this one down, but I really don't want to. So I think I'm gonna have to mix the glaze color, the first glaze color. So I guess I'll do that afterwards. I'm gonna do this section here. I'm gonna do the small section of flesh here, and then I'm gonna go back to that tiny little area. And it's so annoying. It's literally, I made sure that I did this and didn't forget it. And I made sure I did the thumb here that sticks out through the hole in the mask. But I didn't remember probably the biggest one of those. I guess it's not bigger than this one here, but that's a pain. But gotta do what we gotta do. I'm so tempted to just use the second glaze color on that and just be done with it. It's going to be so minor, but it's the kind of thing that will drive me crazy afterwards. It's like gonna be the only thing I'm gonna see, and there's no way to fix it afterwards. I can't put this glaze down and then put the very cool green one on top of it. That's just not gonna work. So I'm gonna finish this section. I'm going to switch to my smaller brush here, and I'm going to clean up the edges here on this section I'm doing. And then we'll move to this small section below, and then I'll worry about that. I'll have to mix that color separately. Ugh. But I think after this glaze, it'll be much more obvious that that is a piece of the dress, because it was almost identical in color to that glaze color. I think I'm gonna shut up for a little bit, and I'm just gonna paint and try to save as much time as possible so we can get this sorted out. But if you have any questions, YouTube, put them in chat and I will gladly answer them. And cool thing about YouTube is that the streams are saved automatically on the YouTube channel. So if you're just joining now, I did a pretty lengthy introduction to this painting that if you missed it, you can just watch the recording after the fact and get caught up. But as of now, I'm many, many, many hours into this. Demonte says, think I might try YouTube next week. Do it. For me, I would rather do this every once in a while to keep my YouTube, like keep new content on my YouTube channel rather than edit videos. Because I went almost an entire year publishing a YouTube, at least one video every week for almost a whole year. That was like my mornings on Saturday and Sunday combined were just me making and publishing YouTube videos, and it just got so demanding and took so much time that I had to say, hold up, and remember why I'm streaming, and that is to make progress I wouldn't make otherwise. And making YouTube videos just was not helping that. So that's when I said, nah, I'm good on YouTube. And I haven't published a YouTube video in like 3 weeks or something. This damn backdrop. It's frustrating the hell out of me. It's fallen every stream for like the past 2 weeks. I've had enough. So this is always such a weird point in the painting, because if you look at this, it looks absolutely absurd. Like if you look at that looks anything but natural. Monte says, been streaming on Twitch for nearly 3 years now. I figure I need a change, or just paint and record and upload. I don't know if I really need to stream live. So for me, I started just like, I would stream and then I'd cut a stream into like 3 pieces of like, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. And I was publishing like 2 or 3 a week, but that's when like, I didn't see anything really happening. And I was like, well, maybe it's just because they're the stream, you know, there's no extra effort put into them. So then I went through a pretty lengthy like process of adding things like intros, outros, editing, you know, things out, you know, making sure it's just the interesting stuff that happens or the educational stuff. And sometimes editing like jokes into it, like memes and things like that. And I got really, really involved by the time I was done. I just kept saying, what would make a better video? What would make something that people would want to watch? And it just didn't work. Is that what you did to start with on YouTube? Yeah. I just cut up my streams, did like one piece like 2-3 times a week. And from my experience, I have more followers on Twitch just from the little bit of streaming I do than I got on YouTube making a video a week. So I'm having like the opposite like experience as just about everybody else. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I don't know if it's something to do with painting that just doesn't carry over to like a non-live like experience, or what it is. Because from what I've seen, the most successful like painting videos on YouTube are people painting like with time lapses and then like talking about something like over it, which I even tried that. I did a lot of time lapse. That's how I would like break up like monotonous talking. Like I'd talk for a while and then I'd go to a time lapse and then play some music over top of it. And I have like sometimes 2 or 3 time lapses in a video. And so, I don't know. I think a lot of it just has to do with getting like that one video like in the public eye and then growing off of that, and like, because it's really hard to like do something for a year and put so many hours into it and like accept that you doing that just wasn't like valuable in any way or like interesting. So which, I mean, that's not why I'm doing it, but for me it's very easy to get carried away and caught up in like building a community and being like an entertainer. Because in the end, like, yes, I teach a little bit in my streams, but I'm not exactly making tutorials. They're essentially entertainment. So I feel like being entertaining is kind of a requirement. Just in general when streaming. Because I mean, that's something even teachers have to deal with. Balancing entertainment with education, engagement, etc. So it's almost like you're not doing your job if you aren't engaging your audience. So, moral of the story is this is the extent of my YouTubing at this point, is streaming. No more editing unless something drastic happens. Okay, we have this pretty much edged out. I have to do this tiny little section here. But yeah, there was always something in the back of my mind that was like, Twitch is mostly for gamers. If I move to stream on YouTube, there is a possibility that my audience is there instead. Because there's a lot of anime waifus being drawn on Twitch in the art section, which is not for me. I do love me some anime, but not quite like that. All right, so this is laid in, and then we gotta lift it. While I'm here, I'm going to very quickly bump this down. Ugh. We're gonna do this little section here, and I'm gonna lift everything all at once. Then I need to go into emergency repair mode and do that little section. So I'm curious, is anyone in chat seeing the stream for the first time on YouTube? I'm curious to see if anyone is discovering the stream on YouTube. So I really suspect that it doesn't matter where I stream, the people that want to watch are going to find me. me. Think you're gonna fool me, DeMonte. But as always, if you've never seen DeMonte's stream, you probably should. Apparently on Twitch or Facebook, but maybe YouTube soon. DeMonte says, live stream, yes. You saw the other vids. Wait, so DeMonte, you found my YouTube channel before you saw the stream? If that's the case, I think you might be the first person that has told me. Oops. Or did you find the stream before the videos? Okay, we've got this laid in. Now, I'm gonna grab my handy rag here. Yeah, I subbed. Thought I would check to see what was on YouTube, and they were. Oh, so you found the stream, and then you checked YouTube. That makes a lot more sense because I would be very surprised if anyone like found me from YouTube. But who knows, maybe there are people who have, I don't know. This is a nice glaze. This might end up being my best glazed painting ever. This one is nice and even. It's covering nicely. It's covering the impremature nicely. It's adding some life into this. Ooh. All right, let's go back up here. And lift this. What time we got? Since I started late, I'm all like discombobulated. Comes to how much time I've got. So now I'm getting in there with the side of my hand. This helps me cover a larger area. I'm not just using my fingertips. Don't quite have as much control, but it helps take a good amount of paint off. Then I can go back in on the edges, and I kind of like roll into it so that I make sure I don't introduce any of that paint back into the outside area. And I'm pretty completely wiping off my finger after every pass. So I'll switch between fingers just so that they stay clean. I'm never like putting my finger back down after I've gotten paint on it. So this is going to probably get rid of a little bit of that contrast between the gold jewelry and the flesh that was there with that first glaze. But that's okay. But I'm pretty sure DeMonte has inspired me to multi-stream and just say, I don't care what Twitch has to say about it. I guess it would only ever become an issue if if I ever did get like a huge audience. They could say, well, now that you have an audience, now you need to be exclusive. Or they could just say, you built this whole audience because on a lie. You broke the rules and now your account's gone. So bye, Felicia. That's like fear. But in the end, I guess I can always come back to YouTube. Which, I don't know, there's my intuition is telling me that my audience is on YouTube and not on Twitch. Or I'm just completely wrong. Who knows? This glaze is like perfect consistency, perfect color. This is cake. This glaze is cake compared to the first one. The first one was very difficult to like get the right like thickness, the right even like, I don't know what to call it other than thickness, but thinness, I guess, is that a thing? Cool. I feel like more came off over here though than anywhere else. I don't know if that's all in my head or not. Cool. Too much came off here. I think that's all in my head. Cool. That looks pretty damn good. Going to head to bed. Have a great stream. Catch you next time. Hey, Demonte, good night, and I'll see you next time. I owe you. I need to check out your stream one of these times, but I always see you go live while I'm at work, and then I'm rushing around to get the stream going, but one of these days, it'll happen. It's one of these days soon, I should say. But I'll see you. Have a good week. And later. All right, so I'm tempted to just go to the face and then worry about this later. I mean, I have this mixed. I have a lot of it. I want to kind of just use it. This is the time when I really want to like save this mixture because it's going to save me so much time in the long run. So I think that is what I'm going to do. But there's such a little difference between that and that. It's mostly like warm and prematura. I'm gonna I'm going to try this. I'm going to glaze it. I'm going to see if it looks like wildly different or not. And if it doesn't, if it looks like it matches, we're just going to shut up, never speak of this again. And move on. Doesn't look right. Then I'll get some paint thinner and we'll wipe it off. Jeez. I think it's working. Maybe if I keep it a little thicker. I don't think it's working. I think we're gonna have to glaze it. So, grab some paper towel, get some turpenoid on there. Story is we take shortcuts. Just want to really define this edge right here. I want it to be very clear what is flesh and what is dress. So keep that there just in case, and we're gonna have to come back to that. So I'm gonna glaze the face. You see this? I guess I should bring this back up like that. So, like before, we're going to go over everything, even the teeth. Okay, wedge this. Yay, no square. Oh, whoa, I missed. Do you feel different streaming on YouTube than Twitch? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't like not having like the notifications in place. Like, I don't know if YouTube is going to tell me in chat if like someone subscribes or what. Like, I feel like the little like community elements that I have are missing. Like, there's no emotes. Well, no pepper emote, I should say. And so it definitely does feel different. And I can't really say that I like it, to be honest. But I guess it's always like, I feel like YouTube isn't going anywhere. So maybe I could take a little more liberties with Twitch, not be so concerned about about losing my Twitch channel if I multi-stream. But even then, like, if I multi-stream, chat's gonna be split up. I feel like there's just no good way to do it. But yeah, no square. For those that may not know what I'm talking about, this camera that I use for my detail scene is notorious for adding like a facial recognition square on faces. And I can't turn it off. And it shows on the stream. And it's annoying as hell. But for whatever reason, it's not happening now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So that might just mean that this is no longer recognizable as a face. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's not a typical looking face right now. So I guess it's excusable. So I bet that the hair is gonna, the flesh is gonna start looking like the hair. And that's a pretty common thing. In fact, I think masters used to use the same glaze for flesh and hair, typically, unless it was obviously like dark hair or something. And so if you look, sometimes their hair is pulled back tight and they almost look bald because it's the same color. for the glaze. Even though I didn't do that, it's still okay. It looks very similar. And also, it's weird not having things like raids. Raids were really the only thing that ever really got me a decent sized audience. Here, there's just no possibility of that. I almost feel like if YouTube just had a few more of those community aspects, it would be the better option, you know, between Twitch and YouTube. But without them, I just don't think we're comparing apples to apples. I'm a little carried away there. All right. Well, I ended up putting this on pretty thick. It's gonna take a decent amount of time to get this off. And thin as it needs to get. I'm very, very happy. My next glaze is going to be slightly on the red side. Gonna get some warm areas. This is probably gonna be my most natural looking floor I've ever painted in my life. Starting to get pretty apparent though that we're starting to lose contrast, which was obviously expected, but always hurts a little bit to lose contrast after putting so much effort into building those highlights and shadows in the underpainting. I mean, they're not gone. They actually help quite a bit when you're painting back into the topmost glaze. Because you may say, well, if you're just going to glaze over this and then paint your lights and darks back in on top of the glaze, why not just do the glaze first? And the reason is you need to know where things are. And if you just put in a solid blob first, the odds that it's going to be accurate are very, very low. Now we have a situation here where the neck doesn't actually go all the way across, and this dark color needs to blend in with what's there, and so that'll get sorted out later. For now, it's just going to look a little wonky. So, tempted to keep going. I have so much of this glaze color left over. So I guess first things first, let's take a look at it. Very, very yellow, which is pretty strange considering marked with red and green. But that is a necessary step. So now she's not looking like a zombie, she's looking like she has like jaundice or something like that. But once we get this third glaze in, I'm going to be putting it in the warm areas only. And so some of this will still be visible. So the third glaze is not going to be everywhere. Just in the warm areas, we're going to get a little bit of pink going on. Obviously in the lips, in some of the more obvious areas in the flesh. Looking at the face, it's very, very pink. On the side here where it meets the hair, and underneath the chin there. So some of this is actually the final glaze. Some of it. But I'm going to do, if I don't do the whole arm, I'm at least going to do the upper arm here. So let's get this moved over. See if we can get rid of that awful glare. There we are. I don't like, there we go. Okay. Switch to a small brush. So I think this is cured enough. I can put my hand here. So what I'm just realizing now that the color that we made here is very similar to raw sienna and a neutral. So we could potentially use like a raw sienna out of the tube as an alternative to this glaze. But I always like to avoid using colors out of the tube. Okay. This lead in. Oops, my bad, just punched the detail camera. That happens way more often than I'd like to admit. If I'm not punching it like this, I'm kicking the tripod. All right, let's take a look at that. Very yellow. All right, I think I got time for the hand. Why not? We got to use up some of this giant pile of paint. It's gonna really hurt to leave them unused. So let's shrink it a little bit. Get back to the hand. So I'm going to move this down. To the hand. And let's switch it up. Let's take a look at the hand. All right. I am so tempted to do this arm as well. I just might. But concerned about time. I guess we'll see how long it takes to get this hand sorted out. I still can't believe I missed that tiny little bit of flesh. I thought I was being super careful. So annoying. It's really all it is. It's not even a big deal. It's just annoying. Just glad I kept that swatch. For that first glaze color. Raquel says, poor poops. Yes, Raquel likes to refer to my piles of paint as poops. Okay, can't forget this little guy. Man, if I forgot him on the second glaze after forgetting that other spot on the first glaze, and it just turned into this weird, annoying, like, debacle of missed glaze, missed areas with different glazes. That would not be a fun time. All right. Hands blocked in. Let's lift. Man, I keep putting my weight on my left leg to like lean in. It's like destroying my left knee. Let's take a look at it. Part of me feels like it's too thick in some places, but then I look at it and I really don't think it is. So, still 8:25. That went super fast. I am going to do this on hand to hand. So, let's move this over. The reason is I want to use this paint. I don't want to waste it. So, we're doing it. However, if I keep leaning on my left leg to lean into paint, I may not be able to walk by the end of the stream. Uh-oh. Pepper's waltzing in here. It's only a matter of time before she's causing trouble. I guess I could probably show what I'm doing here. It's going to require a lot of tricky camera work, I think. I'm just going to keep going into the hand. And clean up all the edges at once. You have to be very careful that I don't taint that nice, pure, intense color of that mystery object. Okay. Backwards this way, and I'll do edging on the hand first. Down here. I think my camera's blocking it. Not easy to see. Doesn't look like you can see it very well either. I think that'll make it better for both of us. Oh, I just heard thing fall. Looks like it's okay for now. See if it can hang on through the rest of the stream. Where's Pepper? She left. She wasn't feeling her 5 minutes of fame today, I guess. All right, hands done. Still gonna have an absurd amount of this left over that I'm gonna have to throw. And it is disappointing. There we go. Whoa. Got a little carried away there. I have to be careful because that glaze on that gold bracelet is not cured. Somebody did that yesterday. Uh-oh. It's coming down. You can see that there's definitely some sort of disturbance going on here. It's only a matter of time. Obstructing my light on my palette. Guess I should probably show what I'm doing. Let's get this back up here. I don't know how to do this without blocking my own light. So dark here. Pepper, please stop clawing my drawings. Pepper. I don't want to hear it. Just talking back. All right. Now we lift this. Pepper, get out. Come on. No clawing my paintings. Okay. Actually kind of surprised how fast glazing is going after how long it took the underpainting to dry over here on the leg. Oh, and it's down. We have a broken backdrop. You can see the door back there. I need a spoon. Oh, to spank Pepper with. If you look hard enough through that door, you may see Raquel. Whoa, I did not wipe my thumb off there. Let me, so I should show this. And what a weird section to record. I need some more terpenoid so I can clean this off so it doesn't look hazy. There we go. just need a clean section of this rag. Won't be my problem here. Good luck. Good luck seeing you through the door. To be fair, I've offered her a chance to be on stream multiple times. Every time she plays it off like I'm joking. She realizes I'm serious. I don't know if I'm rushing or what, but this is already divided. Maybe not. I think that was enough to do the job. We will do it, but I need to get pretty and not be in PJs. Oh, who cares? You don't need to be pretty. And by that I mean made up. You're always pretty, babe. Hey, this is taking forever. Oh, it just scared the crap out of him. Somehow it fell even more. I was concentrating super hard. Okay, next week I'll hold the cup of tea. My own private tea holder. Need to tape that shit. Yeah, I know. The problem is I ran out of the tape I was using. And so I tried using other tape and it's just not doing the job. So I think this is looking all right. Let's just take a look. Wow, it's weird. It almost looks like this is the imprimatura. Huh. That looks cool. It's like I'm uncovering the painting, or paint, I guess more like painting it in with my finger, since that looks like the imprimatura. Cool. It's the kind of thing I'd love to be able to take a photo of, but my phone is preoccupied right now as the palette camera. That is out of the question. Move this down, move it over. Do one of those. Ignore the glare. Got some serious texture on that forearm. Not quite sure why. Might have just been that the imprimatura was very textured, or maybe even the primer. But we're gonna have to fix that when we paint back into this last glaze. That's looking a little unnatural. Okay. Pretty good on this section above the bracelet. Let's make sure that looks all right. Not bad. However, this arm is suffering the most, I think, from the lack of contrast. Just because it's very subtle. All right, so now I got to be extra careful around this thing. I got to find a nice clean spot, if one exists. Not really. So kind of found one. Okay. Good thing we still need to do another glaze on that gold, because I think I just took a large portion of it off accidentally. The first large portion of the first glaze, I should say. And get this final little section around this mystery object, and I think we're in the clear. Go. Oh, I'm not even showing what I'm doing. I lost my clean spot. You were looking out the door? I don't think I believe that for a second. But if anyone spotted Raquel, it's like an instant gift sub on Twitch. Cool. Right, just like that, we have the upper body glazed with glaze number 2. All right. Nice. Good luck. Well, at some point I'll get you on the stream. Don't you worry. I'm very tempted to just get rid of the backdrop. I think it's necessary to get rid of this bad boy. Is it really necessary? Get away with that. Next week you'll be my cup holder. What do you think? Is it doable? I may have to change the lighting a little bit. I don't know. Any opinions? Oh, my monitor is cutting out. You like it? You like it without the black? Let's get this out of here. This corner I can clean up, but I wish there was something cool I could put back there, like some other drawings or something. And here it'll just be more of the same. It's a pain though. You know, I like the black thing. Oh, you like the black backdrop? All right, then if that's the case, then I will certainly sort that out. Looks like I'm dropping frames. I'm not sure why. I've definitely noticed it in my monitor. I don't know what would be causing that. But all right, I will make the black backdrop work and not fall every single stream. But it looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. I don't know why. So I'm going to wrap up. I don't know why that's happening. That's never actually happened on Twitch. But anyway, YouTube, it's been great. First stream started off rough, ended kind of rough. I'm missing my backdrop. I'm a broken man at this point. But thanks for watching. If you can even see this. If not, then I apologize. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. But thanks. Have a good week. I'll be back on Twitch next Monday at 6:30, same time. And wow, I'm really, my bitrate is terrible right now. But anyway, thanks. Have a good week. I will see you next Monday on Twitch. Have a good week. Later. Oh, I can't do that anymore. I have to turn it off the old-fashioned way.